all, we are live from Benidorm. Hope you can hear me okay. You never quite know what the reception's going to be like here, whether you're going to get a good one or a bad one. Let's have a little look, see what occurs. I'll tell you, I've been down here today to speak to some Brits about what's going on back home. And when I get a few people in the room, I'll tell you exactly what most of them have said. Quite surprising, actually. You'd think that people being away from home, being on holiday, they would be good morning all. Yep, you're starting to pour in now. Thank you for joining me. Just a quick random live from Benidorm Beach. Morning, Michelle. Now, a quick word of warning. I don't know what the reception's like, and I don't know what the audio's going to be like, and I don't know if the reception is going to stay in, because it's notoriously a bit patchy along the Benidorm beach here. Just giving it a little while for people to come in. 200 people in so far, I believe. Good morning all. So got a little story for you this morning, actually. One of the reasons I've decided to go live, I came down here this morning to ask Brits about what they think about what's going on back at home. Now, you would imagine that given the circumstances, people would be only too happy to have their say, have a whinge, have a whine, have a moan and a groan. They're on holiday, they're feeling a bit more relaxed, you know, feeling a bit loosened up. I must have spoken to probably a dozen people this morning along the beach here. Whether it's just been a bad day, an unlucky day, good morning Claire, I don't know. It could just be one of those days, but nobody wants to talk on camera. They're all happy to talk. They all have the same message. My question to them was, like, to open the conversation, what do you think of Keir Starmer? And I think every single one of them went, oh, where do we start? You know, that sort of reaction. And then I say, do you mind coming onto the channel? Do you want to have your say? Let everyone know what, you know, you think about what's going on at home. And to a man and a woman, the answer was, don't really want to do it. And I'm asking them why. Why do you not want to come on camera? Now, some of them just say, oh, I don't want my face on camera. Some of them say, oh, you know, I don't like talking on camera. But some of them have also said, and you get the feeling that they're frightened, they're scared. One person did say, you got to be kidding, I've got to go home in a couple of days. So, yeah, Natural World says fear of being arrested. That's the general impression that I'm getting here. Now, like I said, maybe it's a bad day because in general, Brits ain't backwards in coming forwards. It's early. It's only early, right? Nobody's been on the drink. Nobody's loosened up. It's mostly older people and families mooting around. And it's really surprised me because I'm not a great street YouTuber. I'm not someone that really likes getting out in people's faces, asking them questions. But at the moment, that's very easy because, you know, in the past, you could say, oh, what do you think about what's going on at home? And people would say, oh, what do you mean? But now, when you say, what do you think about what's going on at home, everyone knows, don't they? Everyone knows what you're asking. Everyone knows what you're saying. Everyone knows the question that you're kind of putting to them. But it also seems that everyone's quite, whether scared is the right word or not, I don't know. Maybe it is. I honestly don't know. But they're very reluctant. Very reluctant. It's a bit hard to see in this sunlight. I'm trying to see some of the questions coming through. No one believes Labour, don't worry, Paul. Yeah, I think that's pretty true. Very lightly. Grab a couple of punters and ask them. Well, we may well try. I won't be on for too long today. Got to pick my granddaughter up from school for lunch, so get to spend a couple of... They have 2 hours lunch break here in Spain. 2 hours. Unbelievable. So yeah, I might try and grab 1 or 2 people, see how we get on. But so far today, people have been very reluctant. Hi Paul, have seen Andy, Gabby, Cabby last night. Great. I didn't see it, to be fair. I was on live myself and I didn't get a chance to catch up with it. It's actually fairly quiet here today. Most of the tourists have gone home now. Obviously the season has sort of pretty much come to an end. A lot of the restaurants, well I say a lot, a number of the restaurants are now closing up for the winter period, I guess, which makes me laugh because they close for August anyway. It's a big holiday out here. So they're closed August and then September, October, they all pack up and go home for the winter. You'll have to excuse me not particularly reading much out of the chat. I've got the sun kind of blaring on the camera and I can't really see too much, to be fair. The screen looks pretty black. Let's have a look. I can see, trying to see 1 or 2 of them, but it's very, very difficult. Plenty of mobility cars, yeah, just chilling out. Yeah, they're the #1 form of transport here. The #1 form of transport here in Benidorm, by far. My wife said to me the other day, actually, do you think all these people need these mobility scooters? And I think the answer to that is definitely no. But the strip is like a couple of miles long, or the beach here is a couple of miles long, and then you've got miles to get around as well. So I think if you're, middle-aged and above, it offers a cheap way of getting around without the stress of walking. And it does get so hot that there's the police, they are always around. That's probably about I exaggerate you not, I've been here hour and a half, and that's probably the 20th police car. How you doing? That's probably the 20th police car that I've seen. They are everywhere, and that's during the day. Someone recognised us there, obviously a viewer. Should have grabbed him, but he was gone past the camera. So yeah, people do seem very reluctant at the moment to speak on camera. Maybe I need to try a different approach. Maybe I need to try a different approach. Lucky it's pissing down in Belfast. Who's the old geezer looking like a 60s hippie? Oh, look, listen. You get plenty of all sorts here in Benidorm. It is the ultimate, I call it Brighton on steroids, but, it is what it is. I think it's a great place. I actually really like it. It's not for everyone. And, on a Friday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, if you go up into the strip there where all the bars are, it can get a bit rowdy. But as soon as you get out of there, it's pretty decent. A lot of the Brits have gone home now. Probably, I would say, at least half of the people that you can see now, probably more, are not British. Sylvia's son, thank you. You get half on me. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So what I do, I'll take my granddaughter to a little cafe for her lunch. Any watch shops you can, nothing, just Kiss Me Quick hats and some pretty Vole t-shirts. They got to dump the Vole t-shirts here, definitely. Definitely got to dump the Vole t-shirts. Let's see if I can try and grab someone whilst we're live. Just trying to see some of the comments. thinking of moving over there myself, getting worse in Scotland. That's from Margaret. Lucy, thank you very much. I'll try my best. Good morning to beautiful Scotland as well. Let's see if I can try and grab a passerby. What's the cost of living like out here? I would say, I think the biggest thing for me is probably, like all the utility bills are cheaper, everything like that is cheaper. Council tax is next to nothing by comparison to back home. But you do tend to spend more time outdoors, which means you're out and about doing, more things than you perhaps would normally do back at home. If you're back at home and you're indoors and it's peeing down with rain, you're not spending any money. But there's a lot more hours here. To get out and about and potentially spend money. Lads, do you want to come on? No, you're all right. No, Geordie boys, I think. Just back from taking my cats to the vet for vaccines. That's just disappeared, that message. But I can tell you now that the veterinary bills out here are much, much less. Oh, that's something I wanted to talk to you about. We finally got to sort out our health insurance yesterday. I'm in Benidorm too. Hope to see you before I go home. That would be nice. Paul, please get into politics. Well, I think I'm 3/4 of the way there, aren't I? Yeah, so we had health insurance before we became residents. Now that's more expensive. When you're not a resident, your private healthcare insurance is more expensive than when you become a resident. So now we've got our residency cards. We took out a new policy yesterday. Oh, thank you very much for that. When evil follows, thank you. How sweet is that? We took out a new health cover yesterday with IMED over here in Spain. The hospital is like a hotel. It's like a 5-star hotel. All the rooms have balconies and it's just immense. You get an app on your phone, and when you want to visit the doctors, all you do is you go on your app, you choose which doctor you want, which department. So if you've got a dodgy hip, if you've got a dodgy ear, you choose your department, or don't know, not sure. You then book your appointment on the app. You get to see the doctor at the hospital 9 times out of 10 the same day. How difficult is it to get a residency permit? It's not easy. I've got to tell you, it's not easy. So you get to book your appointment same day. You go to the hospital and it's just immense. It's amazing. Hopefully we never had to use it. I said to my wife, it's at the end of the year, you hope that you've wasted your money. But if you do need it, then it's money well spent. Now I'm going to tell you what that costs us. Because as a migrant into Spain, I'm aware that I have not paid I haven't been paying money into the Spanish tax system for years. I don't expect any free healthcare here. That is for the Spanish people. They obviously must come first. We can't be jumping ahead of the indigenous population. That would be immoral, that would be wrong. So we've taken out private healthcare. It cost me €150 a month, and it cost my wife €100 a month. Now the reason that my wife's is cheaper is that she is 9 years younger than me. I'll have to do another ride about. So she's 9 years younger than me, and that is the super duper whooper duper cover. That covers everything from a pimple right down to the very worst that you can imagine, even dentistry. So €150 a month for me, €100 a month for my wife. We can now go on the Spanish NHS system. We don't need to pay that because we're residents. God forbid, if we need an ambulance, if we need an emergency operation or treatment, we can go straight to the local NHS hospital, get seen and get treatment for free. But that is not our commitment to the Spanish people, to the Spanish government. We've come here to be good migrants, to be a perfect example of what a good migrant should be, to respect the country that you live in, respect their rules, understand that the Spanish people, it's their home first, we're just here as guests. And as guests, we must pay our way. Do I own land in Spain, or is it like a leasehold? No, I don't own any land here. We have now bought a property out here. So I had 2 properties back in the UK. One I've sold. We rented for a while, but we have now bought a place. They're putting the council tax up. Yeah, I think my council tax where I am was just under €1,000 for the year. My council tax back in Brighton was £359 a month, I think. So it was it's a lot cheaper here. A lot cheaper here. As you can see, not many passers-by. And you know, when you saw those lads, I mean, they're off for a beer, they're a bit young, who wants to speak to me? They're off for the day out. So most of the people that I've tried to speak to have been sort of middle-aged and upwards, and they're happy to engage, but not to be on camera, which to me says it all. I've never had that before. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't see your messages coming through. The sun's just took off again, and when the sun gets brighter, my screen gets darker, I can barely see it. What's Tommy up to just now? Do you know what? I don't know. The last I heard, he was in South America. I'm not sure whether he's back or not. I don't know. Up the Villa from a Brummie fan, yeah. Up the Villa after Sunday, bloody hell. I don't know what you think. You obviously watched the game, but I don't know. I thought we were hard done by. I don't know how we lost the game, to be honest with you. I thought first half we were in, I thought it was a matter of how many, but that lad Josh King looks a good player, doesn't he? Our youngster. He looks like he's going to be playing for England before long. Yeah, sorry, it's really difficult to see the messages. But as I say, it's been really, really tough to get anyone to engage today. And as soon as you start talking about politics, they switch off. Not because they don't want to talk about it, not because they haven't got an opinion, but because they seem reluctant. And as I said, one guy said, leave off, I've got to go home in a couple of days. Is that the general feeling amongst the population? Crazy. Right, guys, it is time to go and pick up my beautiful little granddaughter. I'm going to take her for a nice bit of lunch down by the sea. What a life for our youngsters out here as opposed to back home. This is one of the reasons why I moved here, not only for my wife and for her safety, for my kids and for their safety, but for the future of my grandchildren. When she was back at school in Brighton, I don't even want to go in. Don't. What she was being taught, who was in the playground. No, I don't want to go into it. But here, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Couldn't ask for anything more. Yes, again, we're paying private. She goes to a private school. That costs €600 a month. But it's worth every penny. Worth every goddamn penny. €600 a month to see your granddaughter being taught Spanish. She's only been here a few months and she's doing so well, bless her, when we go out. You know, she's talking to the waiters in Spanish, she's talking to the people in Spanish. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's a bit cloudy today. The temperature has dropped. It's quite humid, actually. I mean, it's nowhere near as hot as it has been. It actually rained yesterday, and to be honest with you, we love it. It's nice to get a bit of rain, and you know that heat started to become intense at times. Right, guys, I'm going to wind it up because I've got to go and pick my little one up. I really appreciate you joining us. As I say, just a quick random live stream. I was going to bring you some interviews from Benidorm today, but the Brits seem scared of telling us what they feel. Right, Sylvia's son, thank you. And extra dessert for your granddaughter. Bless your heart. Thank you so much. God bless you all. We'll see you soon.